How many fingers am I holding up? Welcome to Journeys in Focus, where every path tells a story. I'm Brenden, your host, and together we'll explore the journeys that shape our lives and bring our world into focus. Adjust that focus, come along on the journey. Oh hey, welcome to Journeys in Focus, the podcast where we're going to explore the paths we take, the decisions we make, and the perspectives we gain along the way. I'm Brenden, and I'm thrilled to have you here with me as we embark on this exciting journey together. We have a lot in store, so adjust that focus and come along on the journey. For this inaugural episode, I want to take you on a bit more of a personal journey, one that really set the foundation for this podcast. And really, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Brenden, your host, and over the past year, I've been running a creative company specializing in photography and videography, and really just living out my entrepreneurial dreams, or even roots in a sense, as it's ran in the family from my parents to my aunt and my grandfather. But though we've all kind of done our own journey of some sort that was in focus for us, since we're all not doing the same thing, mine just capturing life through a lens and exploring the world has always been my passion. And look, now it's led me here to podcasting, something I didn't expect or felt like I ever really needed to do. And you're probably sitting there too thinking, Brenden sitting in front of a camera, talking to a microphone. I didn't see him doing that. Or if you came up to me once and you told me that this is what I was going to be doing in years from now, I probably would have looked at you and probably would have just laughed or said, no, that's not what I would be doing. And really starting this podcast is now allowing me to share my journey while also creating a space for you to share yours. Whether you're at a crossroad, embarking on a new journey, or you're just curious about life's next steps, this is the podcast for you, and I'm glad you're here.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Now, really, choices define us. And you may not think so, but look, every day you're making choices. What are you going to wear? What are you going to do? Who are you going to talk to? What are you going to have for lunch or dinner? If it's the weekend, where are you going to go? Are you going to go out? You're going to stay in. And sometimes that right choice isn't always clear, but when you finally recognize it, that choice can lead to unexpected places, to meet people you never thought you would meet, or just do things that you never thought you would do. Look, I'm here talking to a microphone right now and starting this podcast. And now you're probably thinking, Brenden, what are you going to talk about on this podcast? Do you even know how to podcast? And what is Journeys in Focus all about? Well, at its core, this podcast is about you and your stories. I want to highlight the unique and sometimes unexpected journeys we take, how we grow, change, come into our own, or as I like to say, finding our focus. Now, I don't want to make you think a little bit too hard on this Friday afternoon, but how many fingers am I holding up? I'll give you a second to think about it. Hopefully you got it. Now, did you say 4? Hold on. We'll do it one more time. How many fingers am I holding up? Are you still saying 4? No. You're focusing on the problem. If you focus on the problem, you can't see the solution. See what no one else sees. See what everyone else chooses not to see, out of fear, conformity, or laziness, said Arthur Mendelsohn, played by Harold Gould, in Patch Adams. Now, right there just tells you perspective is everything. And it's not just about where you're going, but how you see the world. And this really played a big role into why the podcast was going to be started, and even which led to the overall design of the Journeys in Focus logo. Growing up in a small suburban town outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania, which really a lot of you would probably call the middle of nowhere, cow country, or so much more. It really felt like the mountains were always keeping me in and not letting me have that escape that you may have wanted. And really, I found that potential. And once I realized that I had to go over those mountains, and look, let me here, New York City. Who would have ever guessed? New York City, the city that doesn't sleep. Well, I guess I've always been a city boy at heart. Shout out to Queens, especially 188th Street and Union Turnpike. Now, back to the logo. The logo being yet so simple, but yet so meaningful, with having the mountains, the New York City skyline, and even the aperture blades framing the logo. Well, really, those mountains is what I had to overcome. That was my escape. That's what was blurry to me. I had to then find my focus, and that's where New York City comes into place. That's why it's in the background, because that's what's in focus. And really, the aperture blades, that's just my nod to my love for photography and capturing life through a lens. And really, I want to give a big shout out to Tatum for helping me design this amazing logo and bring this vision into a reality. And look, I said life is about those perspectives and finding the right ones. And hopefully you understand the whole 4 fingers now, and that isn't actually 4 there. But it's about the approach. And recently, over the past year, this is the approach I've been taking, which is finding that right perspective. Because a lot of stuff has changed, and whether you're facing a tough moment, difficult decision, how do you often get through it? Are you just thinking about something else, tossing it away, not really putting your mind to it? Or really, you take that perspective and you shift it. Shift it by looking at it at a different angle, getting clarification about something that you may not didn't understand before, or just realizing that a roadblock could just be a stepping stone, just like the mountains were for me. We all have different journeys, and we can all learn something from each other, and that's why I'm so excited about the guests we have lined up. We'll be talking with people who have taken bold steps in their life, and people who have different stories of their journeys, or what they may have thought they wanted to do and now they're no longer doing that. Or even just to have people say what they have and what they've done. And who knows, maybe that inspires you on your next move or to help broaden your focus. So, with that being said, stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, please subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment down below. It helps not just you guys to go back to watch the video or listen to it, but it also helps to find more people and have them join us on this journey. You could also reach out to me on Instagram at journeysinfocus.podcast or just shoot me an email, journeysinfocuspod@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. Now, hopefully you're still not caught up on the whole 4 fingers and that there isn't actually 4. If you think about it in the way that you're supposed to. I want to leave you with this. What choices have defined your path so far? What perspectives have you gained from your experiences? And is everything in your life in focus? Really? Think about that till episode 2. Like I said before, I want to thank you all for tuning in to this inaugural episode of Journeys in Focus. And until next time, adjust that focus and come along on the journey. Hey, why are you still here? The episode's over.